which stands for a Juan. The indirect object pronouns for yo, tú, nosotros, and vosotros forms are exactly the same as the direct object pronouns. Me means to me or for me. ¿Me escribes? Are you writing to me? Te means to or for you, familiar. Te doy el pasaje. I'm giving you the ticket. Nos means to or for us. Nos hablan siempre en español. They always speak to us in Spanish. Os means to or for you, and it's used when directed at a group you would normally address with vosotros. Os hablaremos a las 8. We will talk to you at 8. The indirect object pronoun corresponding to él, ella, and usted is le, while the indirect object pronoun corresponding to ellos, ellas, and ustedes is les. Le di la información. I gave her the information. Les traigo las tarjetas de embarque. I'll bring you the boarding passes. Note that the pronouns le and les can refer to a number of different people or groups of people. For example, in the sentences we just heard, the information could just as easily have been intended for him or you instead of her, and the boarding passes for them instead of you. The preposition a, followed by a personal pronoun or a noun, can be used for clarification. Le di la información a ella. I gave her the information. Les traigo las tarjetas de embarque a ustedes. I'll bring you the boarding passes. Note that restating the indirect object is very common in Spanish, especially in the third person, even when there is no need for specific clarification. Mañana le pasaré el informe a tu amiga Carolina. Tomorrow I'll give the report to your friend Carolina. As you've probably noticed, indirect object pronouns generally precede a conjugated verb, just like direct object pronouns. When a conjugated verb is used together with an infinitive or a present participle, the pronoun can either precede the conjugated verb or be attached to the end of the infinitive or participle. Le quiero dar dinero and quiero darle dinero are equally valid ways of saying, I want to give him money. ¿Les gusta estudiar la gramática? Do you like studying grammar? The verb gustar, which means to like, works very differently than its English counterpart. It's also one instance where the literal translation, to be pleasing to, or to please, can help you remember how it's used. So, when you want to say you like something using gustar, the person or object of your affection is expressed as the subject of the sentence, while the person doing the liking appears as an indirect object. This means that gustar is always used with an indirect object, usually an indirect object pronoun, which represents that person. Me gusta la comida italiana. I like Italian food. Pero no me gustan estos platos. But I don't like those dishes. Gustar is most often used in the two forms you just heard, gusta and gustan. Use gusta when the thing or person liked is singular, and use gustan when what is liked is plural. Pero no me gustan estos platos. You also use the singular if you're talking about an action expressed by a verb in the infinitive. Nos gusta viajar. We like to travel. You can emphasize on the person who likes something by adding a and a name before the indirect object pronoun. A los estudiantes les gustan los libros de García Márquez. Students like García Márquez's books. Or by adding a and a pronoun before the indirect object pronoun. A mí me gustan los libros de García Márquez. I like the books by García Márquez. If you want to emphasize on how much you like or dislike something, notice that the word mucho comes directly after gustar. A los estudiantes siempre les gustan mucho los libros de García Márquez. Students always like García Márquez's books a lot. The same is true for más. Pero les gustan más las historietas, but they like cartoons better. You can also use gustar to express that you do not like something by just putting no in front of the indirect object pronoun. No me gustan los libros de García Márquez. Or, a mí no me gustan los libros de García Márquez. I don't like the books by García Márquez. Hace 2 horas que te espero. I've been waiting for you for 2 hours. What tense is the verb espero in? The present indicative. Expressing how long an action has been going on is one of the most common pitfalls of Spanish grammar. As our example illustrates, English uses the present perfect tense, I have been waiting, whereas Spanish uses the present, espero. This is because we focus on the fact that the action or state began in the past, while Spanish speakers focus on the fact that the action continues today or that the condition still holds true. So they use the present tense along with the verb hacer to indicate the length of time that the action has been in progress. The formula is hace plus a period of time plus que plus a verb in that present indicative. Let's look at some examples. Hace 2 semestres que estudiamos español. We've been studying Spanish for 2 semesters. Hace 10 meses que no como carne. I haven't eaten meat for 10 months. Hace 20 años que soy actor. I've been an actor for 20 years. To ask how long an action has been going on, you can say, ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que no llamas a tu madre? How long has it been since you've called your mother? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que se escriben? How long have they been writing to each other? Recibió una tarjeta de Miguel. He received a postcard from Miguel. What tense is the verb recibió? The preterite. What tense is used to denote past actions? The preterite. The preterite is used to talk about events that took place in the past or actions that were completed in the past. This tense is used to make statements of fact about the past, and whenever a specific moment or period of time is associated with a past action. It is formed by replacing the infinitive ar, or id ending with the appropriate personal ending for the preterite. The preterite endings for regular adverbs are haste, and o for the singular forms, and amos, hastes, and aron for the plural forms. Note that the nosotros form of adverbs is the same as the present indicative. Here are some examples. ¿Hablaste con Silvia ayer? Did you speak with Sylvia yesterday? Llegamos a las 7. We We arrived at 7 o'clock. Estudiaron español anoche. They studied Spanish last night. The preterite endings for er and id verbs are identical. I, iste, and yo for the singular forms, and imos, isteis, and yeron for the plural. Here are some examples. Comí en la cafetería ayer. I ate in the cafeteria yesterday. ¿Le escribió Roberto? Did Roberto write to her? Salimos de casa a las 6. We left the house at 6. ¿Qué bebieron anoche? What did they have to drink last night? As for verbs ending in ad, the nosotros form is the same in the preterite as in the present tense, and the intended meaning is revealed from context. Compare. Hablamos por teléfono. We talk on the phone. Hablamos por teléfono la semana pasada. We spoke on the phone last week. Some verbs undergo spelling changes in the preterite. Verbs ending in gar and gar take a u before the yo ending. Pagué con mi tarjeta de crédito. I paid with my credit card. Verbs ending in sar change the z to c in the yo form. Empecé a trabajar a las 8. I started to work at 8. For some er and id verbs whose stems end in a vowel, the I in the yo and yeron endings changes to y. Él leyó el periódico. He read the newspaper. ¿Sabías que Charo tuvo un accidente? Did you know that Charo had an accident? Sí, Antonio me lo dijo. Yes, Antonio told me. How many objects are there in the sentence you just heard? 2. An indirect object, me, and a direct object, lo. When a direct object pronoun and an indirect object pronoun appear together in the same sentence, the indirect object pronoun always comes first. Ana me da la maleta. Ana is giving me the suitcase. Ana me la da. Ana is giving it to me. ¿Quién te contó la historia? Who told you the story? Me la contó Juanito. Juanito told it to me. The indirect object pronouns le and les change to se before lo, la, los, or las. ¿Le entregaste el paquete a la vecina? Did you deliver the package to the neighbor? No, no se lo entregué hoy. No, I didn't deliver it to her today. If the meaning of se is unclear, the preposition a plus a pronoun or a noun can be used. Se lo entregaré a ella mañana. I'll deliver it to her tomorrow. Like single object pronouns, double object pronouns used with a conjugated verb plus an infinitive or a present participle can either appear before the conjugated verb or be attached to the end of the infinitive or participle. Compare. Se lo voy a entregar mañana. Voy a entregárselo mañana. They both mean I'm going to deliver it to her tomorrow. Juanita te lo está diciendo. Juanita está diciéndotelo. They both mean Juanita is saying it to you. Double object pronouns are always attached to the end of affirmative commands to form a single word. ¿Qué pasó? Cuéntamelo. What happened? Tell me. Note that when object pronouns are attached to a verb, a written accent is often required to maintain the proper stress. La boda de Laura y Roberto fue ayer. Les dimos una lámpara. Laura and Roberto's wedding was yesterday. We gave them a lamp. What tense are the verbs fue and dimos in? The preterite. The verb ser, meaning to be, ir, meaning to go, and dar, meaning to give, are all irregular in the preterite tense. The good news is, the conjugations of ser and ir are identical. Fui al teatro ayer. I went to the theater yesterday. ¿Fuiste a clase esta mañana? Did you go to class this morning? La conferencia fue fantástica. The lecture was fantastic. La semana pasada fuimos a la fiesta de Gabriela. Last weekend we went to Gabriela's party. ¿Fuisteis vosotros también? Did you go as well? Los poemas fueron muy difíciles de comprender. The poems were very difficult to understand. The verb dar is not entirely irregular. It's simply exceptional in that it's an adverb that takes er and id endings. Let's look at some examples. Le di el libro a Elena el mes pasado. I gave Elena the book last month. ¿Le diste la tarea al profesor? Did you give the homework to the professor? Juan le dio la llave a su compañero. Juan gave the key to his roommate. Le dimos las cartas a tu hermana. We gave the letters to your sister. ¿Le disteis vuestra dirección a la secretaria? Did you give your address to the secretary? En la tienda me dieron 2 periódicos. At the store, they gave me 2 newspapers. Note that the forms di and dio have no written accent because they consist of a single syllable. Finally, remember that the preterite is used when an action is viewed as completed in the past. ¿Cómo durmieron ustedes anoche? How did you sleep last night? What tense is the verb durmieron in? The preterite. What is the infinitive of the verb durmieron? Dormir. As you can see in the example, the stem vowel o in dormir changed in the preterite tense. The id verbs, which undergo spelling changes in the present tense, do so in the preterite as well, where e changes to I and o changes to u, like in our example. The most common of these verbs include dormir, mentir, morir, pedir, preferir, repetir, seguir, and servir. Here are some more examples. ¿Qué pidieron ellos? What did they order? Raúl pidió camarones y Rosa pidió langosta. Raúl ordered shrimp and Rosa ordered lobster. Beba te mintió. Beba lied to you. Mis padres prefirieron esperar. My parents preferred to wait. Note that these spelling changes apply only to the third-person singular and plural forms. ¿Vende Pedro su apartamento por necesidad? No, para comprar una casa más grande. Is Pedro selling his apartment out of necessity? No, in order to buy a bigger house. What are the two prepositions used in these sentences? Por and para. Do you know why we say por necesidad, but para comprar una casa más grande? Prepositions in any language have a variety of meanings and uses. The same is true for the por and para, so translating them doesn't really help. Let's take a closer look. The preposition por is used when talking about motion or approximate location. It is then usually translated as through, via, around, along, or by. For example, vamos por la calle Gaudí. Let's go along Gaudí Street. Pasaron por el restaurante. They passed by the restaurant. It is also used to indicate means, manner, unit of measure, or the notion of exchange. For example, están hablando por teléfono. They're talking by phone. Las manzanas son $2 por libra. Te doy $3 por 2 libras. The apples are $2 a pound. I'll give you $3 for 2 pounds. Por also indicates the period of time during which an action takes place. Viajo por 2 meses. I'm traveling for 2 months. And it can mean in search of or for. Voy por Juan y Andrés. I'm going in search of Juan and Andrés. It is also used to indicate the motive or cause of an action. Llegamos tarde por la lluvia. We arrived late because of the rain. Estoy buscando trabajo por necesidad. I'm looking for a job out of necessity. The preposition para, on the other hand, is generally associated with goals, outcomes, or desired effects. It is used to express either a specific destination, vamos para Santiago, we're going to Santiago, a desired time by which an action should take place, in short, a deadline. Quiero leer el libro para la próxima clase. I'd like to read the book for the next class. Who or what something is for. El regalo es para mi hermana. The gift is for my sister. Objectives or goals. Me entreno para los Juegos Olímpicos. I train for the Olympic Games. Or what is hoped to be achieved by doing something. Estoy buscando trabajo para comprar una bicicleta. I'm looking for a job in order to buy a bicycle. Me levanté rápidamente. I got up quickly. What is the adverb in the above sentence? Rápidamente. Most Spanish adverbs are formed just like rápidamente, by adding mente to the feminine form of an adjective. Here are some examples. Lento, slow. Lenta, the feminine form changes the ending. Lentamente. Rápido, rápida, rápidamente. Especial, especialmente. Remember that not all adjectives have a gender-specific ending. General, generalmente. Note that the adverb retains the accents of the adjective. Yo dormía plácidamente cuando el despertador sonó ruidosamente. I was sleeping peacefully when the alarm clock went off noisily. Ese señor siempre me saluda gentilmente. That gentleman always greets me politely. When two or more adverbs are used together, only the last one takes the mente ending, but they all need to be in the feminine adjectival form. Los adverbios se forman rápida y fácilmente. Adverbs are formed quickly and easily. Habló clara y lentamente. He spoke clearly and slowly. Me levanto temprano. I get up early. Where is the reflexive pronoun in this sentence? It's me. Reflexive constructions are used whenever the subject and object, direct or indirect, are the same, which is to say whenever someone performs an action on him or herself. In English, the reflexive nature of an action is often understood. So when we say, she's getting dressed, it's understood that she dresses herself. In Spanish, however, reflexive actions must always be indicated with a reflexive pronoun. Se viste. The good news is that the reflexive pronouns for the yo, tú, nosotros, and vosotros forms are the same as the direct and indirect object pronouns me, te, nos, and os. And there is a single reflexive pronoun corresponding to the subjects usted, ustedes, él, ella, ellos, and ellas. Se. Like all object pronouns, reflexive pronouns come before the verb. Los niños se acuestan a las 10. The children go to bed at 10. Or, alternatively, they can be attached to an infinitive. Tienen que acostarse muy temprano. They have to go to bed very early. Or to the present participle as a suffix. Estoy lavándome los dientes. I am brushing my teeth. Notice that many verbs typically used in reflexive constructions have to do with daily routine, like afeitarse, to shave, despertarse, to wake up, peinarse, to comb, and vestirse, to get dressed. Other commonly used reflexive verbs don't involve reflexive actions at all, but describe emotions or mental processes such as sentirse, to feel, acordarse, to remember, or preocuparse por, to worry about. Finally, remember that certain verbs change meaning depending on whether they are used with or without reflexive pronouns. So, for example, while dormir means to sleep, dormirse means to fall asleep. ¿Estás durmiendo? No, no puedo dormirme. Are you sleeping? No, I can't fall asleep. Levantar means to lift up, to raise. But levantarse means to get up out of bed. Pero no se preocupen. The most difficult thing about reflexive constructions is simply to remember, acordarse, to use them. Me gusta el té. I like tea. What is the word el? It's a definite article. Like English, Spanish has two types of articles. Definite articles, meaning the, and indefinite articles, which translate as a or an. All articles are marked for gender and number, and they agree with the nouns they accompany. The masculine definite articles are el and los, as in el hombre and los hombres. The feminine definite articles are la and las, as in la mujer and las mujeres. The masculine indefinite articles are un and unos, as in un hombre and unos hombres. The feminine indefinite articles are una and unas, as in una mujer and unas mujeres. Nouns that represent an entire category or refer to a general concept usually take a definite article. No me gustan los videojuegos. I don't like video games. La justicia es ciega. Justice is blind. The names of languages, as well as the names of rivers, mountain ranges, and lakes all take the definite article. El chino es la lengua con más hablantes. Chinese is the language with the most speakers. El Aconcagua es el monte más alto de América del Sur. Aconcagua is the highest mountain in South America. However, the article is not used with languages following the verb hablar or the prepositions en and de, nor is it generally used with the names of countries or cities, unless the article forms part of the name or the noun is modified. Vamos a pasar por El Salvador y Panamá, donde se habla español. We'll pass through El Salvador and Panamá, where they speak Spanish. Quito es la capital de Ecuador. Me encanta el Quito colonial. Quito is the capital of Ecuador. I'm enchanted by colonial Quito. The definite article is also commonly used for physical descriptions, as well as in place of possessive articles, when ownership is clear, such as the parts of the body or clothing. Me duele la cabeza. My head hurts. Luis tiene los ojos azules. Luis has blue eyes. And the definite article is used with the days of the week and the time of day. Llegan el sábado a las 3 de la tarde. They arrive on Saturday at 3 in the afternoon. With titles, use the definite article when speaking about someone, but not when speaking to them. Señor Vega, ¿cuándo llega la señora Vega? Mr. Vega, when does Mrs. Vega arrive? The indefinite article is generally used under the same circumstances as in English. Quiero comprar una casa en el campo. I want to buy a house in the country. El tenor está cantando una hermosa aria. The tenor is singing a beautiful aria. However, the indefinite article is used much less in Spanish than in English, and it may be most useful to focus on when it should not be used. For example, no article is used to state a profession, nationality, religion, or affiliation unless the noun is modified. Mi tía Sofía es griega, es arquitecta, es socialista. My Aunt Sophia is Greek. She's an architect, she's a socialist. Su padre era un arquitecto famoso y un socialista muy activo. Her father was a famous architect and a very active socialist. The article is omitted following the prepositions con and sin, as well as after the verbs buscar, to look for, encontrar, to meet, to find, tener, to have, llevar, to wear, and haber. Buscan programador. They're looking for a programmer. Mi madre siempre andaba con bastón. My mother always walked with a cane. No tenemos teléfono. Estamos sin teléfono desde hace una semana. We don't have a phone. We've been without a phone for a week. The article is also omitted after the expressions cierto, a certain, otro, another, and tal, such a. Necesito verte. Tenemos que hablar de cierto proyecto. I have to see you. We have to talk about a certain project. Necesito pedirte otro favor. I need to ask you another favor. Unlike in English, the article is not used in exclamations following que, and it is often omitted in questions and negative statements. Qué lástima! What a shame! ¿Bebes vino? No, no bebo vino. Do you drink wine? No, I don't drink wine. The plural indefinite articles unos and unas express some or several before a noun and approximately before a number. Vamos a comprar unas lámparas. Costarán unos $300. We're going to buy some lamps. They'll cost approximately $300. Mi coche es rojo. El suyo es azul. My car is red. Hers is blue. What is the possessive pronoun in this sentence? It's el suyo. Possessive pronouns take the place of a noun and its possessive adjective. They agree with that noun in gender and number, and except when they appear after the verb ser, they are normally used together with a definite article. The possessive pronouns meaning mine are el mío, la mía, los míos, and las mías. Here's an example. Yo digo, mi apartamento está en la calle Palma. My apartment is on Palma Street. Julia contesta, el mío está en la calle Estrella. Mine is on Estrella Street. Those meaning yours are el tuyo, la tuya, los tuyos, and las tuyas. Aquí están mis maletas. ¿Dónde están las tuyas? Here are my suitcases. Where are yours? For ours, it's el nuestro, la nuestra, los nuestros, or las nuestras. Su profesor es de Colombia. El nuestro es de Venezuela. Their professor is from Colombia. Ours is from Venezuela. Yours, referring to two or more objects or people, translates to el vuestro, la vuestra, los vuestros or las vuestras, when talking to someone you address with vosotros. Mi apartamento está en la calle Palma. ¿Dónde está el vuestro? My apartment is on Palma Street. Where is yours? When talking to someone you address with usted or ustedes, the possessive pronouns are el suyo, la suya, los suyos, or las suyas. Note that these pronouns have multiple meanings, and depending on the context, they can refer to something that's his, hers, yours, or theirs. For clarity, these possessive pronouns can be replaced by de plus a personal pronoun. Let's look at these examples. ¿El espejo es de ustedes? No, es el suyo. Is the mirror yours? No, it's theirs, or his, or hers, or yours. ¿El espejo es de ustedes? No, es de ellos. Is the mirror yours? No, it's theirs. Tuve un examen la semana pasada. I had a test last week. What is the infinitive form of tuve? Tener. Tuve is the preterite form. A number of verbs are irregular in the preterite tense. Their endings are only slightly irregular. They are the same as those of regular er and id verbs, with the exception of e in the yo form, as in, yo tuve un examen. I had a test. And o in the él, ella, usted form, As in, Manuel tuvo un examen. Manuel had a test. Notice that neither e nor o is accented. Now, let's take a look at the stems. As you saw in the opening example, the stem of tener changes in the preterite to tuv. Estar and andar work the same way. Estuv and anduv. Anduvimos por la playa ayer. We walked on the beach yesterday. Yo estuve en casa. I was at home. The verbs poder, poner, and saber all have a u in their preterite stems. No pudieron llamarte ayer. They couldn't call you yesterday. Marta no supo dónde estuviste. Marta didn't know where you were. Geraldo puso tu tarjeta en el coche. Geraldo put your card in the car. The verbs hacer, venir, and querer all have an E in their preterite stems. ¿Qué hiciste ayer? What did you do yesterday? Vinimos de Toledo. We came from Toledo. No quise molestarlos. I didn't want to disturb them. In the él, ella, usted form, the se in hacer changes to a z to maintain the soft sound. ¿Qué hizo Carlos en la fiesta? What did Carlos do at the party? The verbs decir, traer, conducir, and traducir all have stem ending in J. Remember that when the stem ends in J, the E from the yero ending is omitted. No dije nunca una mentira. I've never told a lie. Trajeron la torta. Did you bring the cake? Condujiste mi coche anoche. Did you drive my car last night? Tradujimos ese documento el mes pasado. We translated that document last month. Note that the preterite of I is hubo. Hubo un partido ayer. There was a game yesterday. Hace 2 horas que te espero. I've been waiting for you for 2 hours. What tense is the verb espero in? The present indicative. Expressing how long an action has been going on is one of the most common pitfalls of Spanish grammar. As our example illustrates, English uses the present perfect tense, I have been waiting, whereas Spanish uses the present, espero. This is because we focus on the fact that the action or state began in the past, while Spanish speakers focus on the fact that the action continues today or that the condition still holds true. So they use the present tense along with the verb hacer to indicate the length of time that the action has been in progress. The formula is hace plus a period of time plus que plus a verb in that present indicative. Let's look at some examples. Hace 2 semestres que estudiamos español. We've been studying Spanish for 2 semesters. Hace 10 meses que no como carne. I haven't eaten meat for 10 months. Hace 20 años que soy actor. I've been an actor for 20 years. To ask how long an action has been going on, you can say, ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que no llamas a tu madre? How long has it been since you've called your mother? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que se escriben? How long have they been writing to each other?